Welcome back. It is Thursday, October 31st in the NBA. My three best bets are on the way. What's going on, everyone? My name is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Before we dive into our picks, as always, we do a recap of how we did yesterday. A massive day for us, 5-2. And so close to the sweep. If the Miami Heat didn't exist, we would have swept the board yesterday, but we lost Heat plus 2.5 and Bam's over in points. But the winners, Jason Tatum, best bet of the day over in points. What did he end with? Like 37. Tobias Harris clutched up with the points. So did LeBron. We added a play after the video. Anthony Davis under in points. That cashed. And we had Malik Beasley, 10 plus points at plus 140 for a half unit play. Hey, a massive day, 5-2. Today I will not have any added plays because it's Halloween. So happy Halloween to everyone out there. Something just doesn't feel right, though. I don't know what it is. Zoinks! Yep, I'm dressed up as Shaggy. I even got some pants on for you guys. You guys don't even normally see my pants. Yeah, it's Halloween. So you know what? We're going to dress up and we're going to have some fun. And if you don't like it, just come back tomorrow. I promise I won't be dressed up as Shaggy. This is what I'm dressing up for Halloween, passing out some candy. My wife is going to be Scooby-Doo. You guys came here for some picks, though. We're going to dive into them, and I have a great treat for you all. It's the sleeper bonus. I promise this is the final day I'm going to talk about it because it's also the final day they're offering it. It's you get a 200% deposit match on your first deposit when you use code COS or the link at the top of the description. They'll also give you this Aaron Rodgers free square to use on Thursday Night Football. Look, if you haven't used it by now, I don't know what to tell you. If it's not in your state, that's okay. But definitely if you can, this is the last day until midnight tonight. 200% deposit match. So make sure you get on it, code COS or the link in the description. Also a reminder, I posted my Texans and Jets Thursday Night Football video last night. So you can go check that out. I'll link it down below somewhere in the description or pinned comment. But Shaggy's here to give you some winners, and we're going to start with this first one. My favorite pick of the day, Dillon Brooks over 10.5 points, minus 105 on BetMGM. This is my favorite straight bet, but I'm not willing to lose 1.5 or 2 units on Dillon Brooks. Call me crazy. I think you understand that. But I do like Dillon Brooks in this matchup tonight. Now, the Rockets are on the road in Dallas to face off against the Mavericks. And Dallas is a really good defense. We've seen that at the end of last year, saw a majority. Well, so far to start this year, they've been a pretty good defense. But their main weakness, if you had to pick one, it'd probably Luka Doncic. So I think we see some good volume out of Dillon Brooks tonight. Now, so far, Dillon Brooks this season, has he been good? It's been up and down. 2 points in their opening game, 1 for 6 for Charlotte, then 18 and 16, and then 7 points in his last game versus the Spurs. So, you know, the volume's been there. I mean, 6, 12, 12, and 9 shots. He did shoot only 22% in their last game. But obviously, he's not their number one option. You could probably argue he's not maybe their number 2 or 3, but he's going to get the usage, I think, in this spot. And I like him to bounce back a little bit here. We saw Jalen Green, their number 1 scorer. He's had insane usage, 22 or 25, almost 5 field goal attempts in every single game. But he's had some really easy matchups. We're talking about Charlotte. We're talking about San Antonio. Got teams that, let's be honest, don't play a whole lot of defense. This is a tough matchup for him against the Mavericks. So if he can do it here, then sure, I'll tip my cap. But I don't love this matchup for him where he gets as much volume as he's been seeing. I think we see them maybe run some more sets and try to get Dillon Brooks involved because they want to get Luka Doncic involved defensively. And we've seen in 4 games last year versus Dallas, Dillon Brooks scored 16, 10, 0, and 29 points. He had 13, 9, 8, and 14 field goal attempts. The 10 would be a killer because he'd end on the hook there. But the field goal attempts have been pretty consistent. His actually 2 highest scoring games, both at Dallas. So we look at this. We know Dillon Brooks. He's a menace to society. We took his over when he faced Memphis. It was a sweat-free winner. And we know he likes to show up a little bit more on the road. At least that's what I kind of think. We know he gets booed in most road stadiums, and I'm sure the Mavericks will boo him tonight. And look, that sometimes fires up a guy like Dillon Brooks. Now, obviously, there is a chance for some foul trouble here as he's the one that's going to guard Luka Doncic most likely. But on the flip side, Luka's going to probably guard him, so we should have some opportunities there. The 2 games that Brooks went under against the Mavericks last year, one of them, obviously, he scored 10 points. That was a blowout. The other one, he shot 0 for 8. So, look, if he shoots 0 for 8, so be it. But the field goal attempts were there in all those games. I expect him to continue to fire. And we saw last year with the starters active. So we're talking about Şengün, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, and Jabari Smith Jr. With all those guys active, and he shot 8 or more times. He averaged 14 points per game, going over in 72% of games. I think we see 8 or more shots from Dillon Brooks tonight, and I think he starts knocking down some shots. Look, I don't think this is a good matchup for anyone on the court, which sometimes I feel like normally leads to some role players getting some more volume because it's like, well, the starters getting clamped. Let's see what the other role players got going. Brooks will get some open opportunities. Let's just hope he's knocking them down. So I like his over 10.5 points. Wish we could have gotten a 9.5 line, but we'll take the 10.5 and we'll roll with it at minus 105 on BetMGM for 1 unit. Now I'm going to throw it to Logan. He's had a couple bad breaks recently. He had the Heat plus 2.5 yesterday. They were up 10 in the third quarter. The Knicks were like plus 250 on the money line. Obviously choked that one away, but I'm going to throw it to him for his favorite pick of the day. I have a pick in the same game, but I'll let Logan lead things off.
So before I give my pick today, I do want to say happy Halloween to all. I'm sorry for my cold start in the NBA so far. I've been just seeing ghosts in some of these games. The damn Heat, I thought they had that game. They could not. That's betting the association for you. You will go through hot and cold streaks. Start the year on a cold streak. That just means we're due a heater. And it starts today with the Memphis Grizzlies plus 6.5. I do like the Grizzlies plus the points in this spot. Coming off an outright loss at home to the Nets, I'm back in the Grizzlies in a bounce back spot. A buy low opportunity for them. And it's not like they're facing a juggernaut on the other side. I'll talk about them. But the line opened at 4.5 and it's up to 6.5. That's created a key number value for us, as 5 and 6 are the second and third most common margin of victories in the NBA. The first most common is 7. Hopefully they do not lose by 7. But you guys can kind of see how when you go through those, the line shift, you're getting some key numbers in your favor there. I want to look a little bit more into that as the NBA season goes on, because stats definitely play a big role in these games. The Bucks are not a juggernaut. I just kind of hinted at that. They're a fade right now. They're 1-3. They've lost 3 straight. They're playing a scrappy Memphis team off a bad loss, and I do like the Memphis Grizzlies in this spot. Giannis is probable. Smart and Bane are questionable. But if either of those guys sits for Memphis, it's still next man up mentality for this team. I still think those are guys they can still play without and still keep it within the number we need. Memphis sixth best in opponent fast break points per game, and that's important because they play a Bucks team that is 6th highest in pace. The Bucks do want to get out in transition. They want to get a transition looks. Hopefully Memphis is able to keep up the good defense there. Memphis also, they play with pace themselves. They're 4th highest in pace, and Milwaukee is just 20th in fast break points per game allowed. So hopefully there will be opportunities for Ja and those boys to run the fast break, be able to get buckets that way. The Bucks also rely a lot on the 3, and it hasn't been falling. That's partially the reason why they are not winning these games. They're just 23rd in 3-point field goal percentage. That's not going to cut it a lot in the nights, especially for the frequency that they take the 3. It's up to the Grizzlies tonight to play good perimeter defense, keep that 3-point percentage low for the Bucks. Hopefully keep it within the number for us. I do like the scrappy Grizzlies at home. Let's bounce back with a big win. Love that as my spread pick today. Austin, back to you though.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pick from him on the Grizzlies. I'll put up some stats about, how teams and the most common frequencies of margins of victory and stuff like that. And I think this is pretty notable. When you have a number that goes through the 5 and 6 lines, that's like a big NFL number going from 6.5 to like 7 or 7.5. You normally want to get that key number, and 5 and 6 are pretty key numbers for the NBA. So I do like the pick from the Grizzlies. I'm curious if you guys could have heard my cat, as he's been meowing for the last 2 minutes as I was finishing that Dillon Brooks pick. But either way, he's excited for some Halloween. But let's dive into the final pick of the day. As I talked about, I have a pick in that same Grizzlies and Bucks game, and I'll throw it up on the screen. This can hit with Logan's Grizzlies pick. As Logan kind of noted, the Grizzlies have struggled a little bit to stop the 3-point line, but the Bucks haven't been shooting too well from the 3. So we do have some 3-point shooters involved here. Here's the 4-leg SGP I got cooked up. Damian Lillard, 20 points and 4 assists. Gary Trent Jr., 1 3-pointer, and Brook Lopez, 1 3-pointer. Plus 125 on FanDuel. I'm playing this for 1 unit. I didn't know what DraftKings odds were because they didn't have any player props for this game for whatever reason. But I do know the 5 assists was plus 115 on Bet365. I like Dame to get 5 or 6 assists tonight. Now, let's talk about this one, and we'll just talk about the individual hit rates. I still think the Grizzlies can easily cover here. Like I said, 6.5 a key number. So this should be a tight game. Lillard has 20 and 4 in all 4 games this season. He's had 26, 24, 24, and 33 field goal attempts plus free throw attempts, plus an additional 14.3 potential assists. So he's getting the volume there. I think he'll continue to do his job, getting the 20 points. I mean, that's what he does. I already talked about how he's elite at backing it up. You know what I mean? And he's also their only facilitator. So he's going to have to get those assists. If he doesn't get the assist, well, then Grizzlies plus 6.5 probably cash. Now, as for the 3-point shooters, Gary Trent Jr. has 2 or more threes in all 4 games. He's attempted 5 3-pointers in all 4 games as well. So the volume's been there. Brook Lopez has 1 3 and 3 of 4. His last game versus Boston, 0 for 4 from 3. He's only shooting 24% from the 3-point line this season. Last 3 years, 36%. So the volume's going to come there for a guy like Brook Lopez, and the efficiency is eventually going to come as well. So I like those guys to knock down a 3, and I like Dame for 20 and 4. But Austin, why do you like this matchup for these guys? And partially it is because I don't like the matchup for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if Giannis doesn't have a big game, well, the other guys, these other 3 guys in their starting lineup, literally have no other choice but to do something, as Taurean Prince doesn't do a whole lot. But this season, the Grizzlies, I'm going to throw a bunch of stats at you. They're allowing the third most above the break 3-point attempts, the second most above the break 3-pointers made. What is above the break? It's basically any 3-pointer that's not in the corner. Well, they're also allowing the second most catch and shoot 3-pointers attempted and the most catch and shoot 3-pointers made. So it's a team that struggled a little bit from the 3-point line. Now, if you look at some additional stats, Memphis, highest 3-point field goal percentage allowed on pull-up 3-pointers. And once you know, Lillard leads the Bucks with 9 field goal attempts on above the break threes, 5.8 of them coming from pull-ups. And then Brook Lopez and Gary Trent Jr. lead the Bucks with 5.3 and 5 catch and shoot 3-point attempts respectively. Brook Lopez has struggled on those attempts. Gary Trent Jr. is about shooting 36 or 37%. But the reason that they're giving up so many of these pull above the break 3-pointers, pull-up jump shots is because of Zach Edey for the most part. He's down below in the paint, and he doesn't come out of the paint. So if Damian Lillard wants a pull-up jump shot, he basically has it the whole game unless they put someone else in the game for Zach Edey. And same thing for Jaren Jackson Jr. He's probably going to want to stay tight on Giannis. So I think you're going to see Dame get some open opportunities at the top of the key. And hopefully he knocks him down a little bit. We don't need him to go berserk and screw our Grizzlies pick, but I think he knocks down some of those. I think when they switch to a different defense, it might struggle a little bit. But then I think that's where you see Brook Lopez and Gary Trent Jr. get some opportunities. Just need them to knock down 1-3. So hopefully that makes sense. I still like Logan's Grizzlies plus 6.5. We're only playing that for a half unit because spreads and totals are super hard, especially early on in the season, but he'll get it dialed in. I have faith in him. As for this 4-leg SGP, you see him on the screen, 20 and a 4 from Damian Lillard, and then 1 3-pointer from Gary Trent Jr. and Brook Lopez, respectively. I think that's a winner at plus 125. I really like that SGP. The Bucks have been kind to us in our same game parlays. Let's hope they're kind to us once again. So those are my favorite picks of the day. Go all of our picks. We only have 4 games on today, so no added plays. Final reminder, as Shaggy, sign up for Sleeper using code COS or the link in the description. 200% deposit match and an Aaron Rodgers free square. Number 2, Texans and Jets best bets. It's somewhere linked on the screen. Go check it out. See what I like for Thursday Night Football. Happy Halloween. Zoinks! Let's have a great day. Let's go 3-0, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Peace.